and welcome to FTA's Circular 9070 Enhanced Mobility and Individuals with Disabilities Program Guidance Training Series. I am Heather Smith with the Office of Program Management. TPM 32 designed this series to provide our recipients and stakeholders a better understanding of changes made to FTA's official guidance on the Section 5310 program. This is Session 2. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our speakers today. I will be joined by Destiny Buchanan. I was the circular facilitator for the 9070 circular, and Destiny is the 5310 program manager. Please note that the official name is the 9070 circular, but it is commonly referred to as the Section 5310 program. To ensure we are all on the same page, we want to remind everyone that this presentation does not have the force and effect of the law and is not intended to bind the public in any way. It is educational and informational in nature, with an intent to explain some of our existing requirements under laws or agency policies. Now I would like to introduce Bruce Robinson to provide our welcoming remarks.
Hello, my name is Bruce Robinson, FTA's Associate Administrator for Program Management. On behalf of the team here at the Federal Transit Administration, or FTA, I'm delighted to provide a brief introduction to the upcoming video training. FTA turned 60 years old this year, and one of our most exciting projects this year was updating several of FTA's major program circulars, as well as FTA's Award Management Requirement Circular, which is needed for all awards FTA administers. Over the last 2 years, staff worked tirelessly to update these circulars, working with headquarters and regional offices, as well as reaching out for public comment to update these documents. 4 circulars are Circular 5010, the Award Management Requirements Circular, Circular 9050, the Urbanized Area Formula Grant Program Guidance. This circular replaces, consolidates, and updates guidance for the Urbanized Area Formula Grant Program, the State of Good Repair Grant Program, and the Urbanized Area Formula component of the Grants of Buses and Bus Facilities Program. In addition, Circular 9040, the Rural Area Formula Grant Program Guidance, consolidates and updates guidance for the Buses and Bus Facilities Program, that is rural, and the Formula Grants for Rural Area Program. Finally, Circular 97 is the Enhanced Mobility of Seniors and Individuals with Disabilities Program Guidance. As part of the updated circular release, FTA developed a video series for each circular to relay key information and highlight changes. Additionally, the team developed a number of materials to help work with grantees and help set the stage for understanding federal financial assistance requirements surrounding administering federal fund awards. This circular and training series is specifically designed to assist FTA's efforts to improving customer service and streamlining our processes, as well as reflecting and incorporating provisions from the Fixing America's Surface Transportation Act, or more commonly the FAST Act, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, as well as changes to the Uniform Administrative Requirements, Cost Principles, and Audit Requirements for Federal Awards, more commonly referred to as 2 CFR 200 or the Uniform Guidance, as well as incorporating changes to FTA's policies and procedures. We hope you find these videos informative. FTA has created a general email address for questions related to this update, FTA Circular Update 2024 at dot.gov, to assist in addressing questions regarding this release. For questions about information in the circulars, please reach out to your FTA regional contacts. But for now, please enjoy the show. Thank you.
Each Friday from October 18th through November 15th, 2024, FTA is posting a series of pre-recorded videos addressing summary grants management information and highlighting changes made in each of the revised circulars, including our award management circulars and each of our formula program circulars. With these 9070 videos, our series comes to an end. Our Circular 9070 training builds on the prior circular training series. The 9070 series was developed to highlight many of the structural and substantive changes made to the circular to help users navigate and better understand the circular as an administrative guidance tool. The illustration on the right outlines the general topics for the sessions in this series. Our route ahead is our agenda. For Session 2, we are going to cover planning and program development, program management and administration requirements, state management plan, and appendices. I will turn things over to Destiny Buchanan the Section 5310 Program Manager to take us through the circular in depth. Take it away, Destiny.
Thank you, Heather. I'll begin with the program of projects. Each Section 5310 award must include a program of projects, or POP, which identifies the projects and subrecipients for which the recipient is applying for financial assistance in a given year. POPs must indicate the number of projects and the funding source, indicate the total number of subrecipients, identify each subrecipient and indicate whether they are a governmental authority, private nonprofit agency, or an operator of public transportation, and indicate whether a project is a capital or an operating expense. Identify which projects meet the 55% minimum for traditional Section 5310 projects and be identical to or consistent with listings contained in the applicable TIP and STIP. Additional information on POPs can be found in Chapter 5, Section 3. Projects selected under the Section 5310 program must be included in a locally developed, coordinated public transit human services transportation plan. This locally developed, coordinated plan must be developed and approved through a process that included participation by older adults, people with disabilities, representatives of public, private, and nonprofit transportation and human services providers, other members of the public. Local plans may be developed on a local, regional, or statewide level. The agency leading the planning process is decided locally and does not have to be the state or designated recipient. Required elements can be found in Chapter 5, Section 4B, while tools and strategies for developing a coordinated plan can be found in Chapter 5, Section 4D. The schematic here illustrates the relationship between the coordinated plan and the metropolitan and statewide planning processes. In the following section, I will go over program management and administration requirements. FTA encourages maximum use of vehicles funded under the Section 5310 program. Vehicles are to be used first for program-related needs, as stated in the grant that funded the vehicle, then to meet other federal program or project needs. Vehicles that are no longer needed for the original program or project may be used for Section 5310 projects and program purposes. For example, to provide additional transportation services by the subrecipient for older adults and people with disabilities not associated with their agency. For other federal programs or project purposes, if the vehicle is no longer needed for the original program or project, the vehicle may be used in other activities currently or previously supported by a federal agency, first by other FTA programs or projects, and then by other federal programs or projects. Incidental use occurs when a recipient or subrecipient allows the use of federally funded assets by another entity for non-public transit purposes. Incidental use cannot interfere with the recipient's project or public transportation operations, be included in service data for the apportionment or formula grants. Examples of incidental use include temporary vehicle use by another entity during off hours to transport older adults from senior centers to a site offering hot meals. Another example includes temporary vehicle use by another entity during off hours to transport people with disabilities to an event. Under the incidental use policy, transit service providers may coordinate and assist in providing meal delivery services on a regular basis if the meal delivery services do not conflict with the original transit services or result in a reduction of services to transit passengers. The number and size of vehicles applied for under the Section 5310 program must be determined only by the number of passengers to be transported, not meal delivery needs. Section 5310 funds may not be used to purchase special vehicles to be used solely for meal delivery or to purchase specialized equipment such as racks, heating, or refrigeration units related to meal delivery. For further information regarding incidental use, please refer to FTA Circular 5010. Examples of meal delivery include temporary vehicle use by another entity during off hours to transport meals from food distribution sites to senior centers or homebound individuals. Vehicles acquired under the Section 5310 program may be leased to other entities such as local government authorities or agencies, other private nonprofit agencies, or private for-profit operators. Other uses of the vehicle must not interfere with services to older adults and people with disabilities. When leasing a vehicle to another entity, the recipient is encouraged to either hold title or record a lien against the title to vehicles. The recipient must establish continuing control over the vehicles and accept the responsibility for continued use of the vehicles for Section 5310 purposes, whether by the recipient or a subrecipient. When vehicles, capital equipment, or facilities are acquired, built, or improved for use by an entity utilizing FTA funding, the recipient must ensure satisfactory, continued control of the vehicles, capital equipment, and facilities funded. While the recipient may delegate these responsibilities to another entity, the recipient is ultimately responsible for compliance with this requirement. When an award is active, the recipient must comply with post-award reporting requirements. Section 5310 reporting requirements include but are not limited to annual program of projects status reports, milestone progress reports, federal financial reports, disadvantaged business enterprise reports, and transit vehicle manufacturer disadvantaged business program reports. Highlighted below are requirements under the annual program of project status reports. By October 31st each year, the state or designated recipient must submit a program status report for each active grant, covering the 12-month period ending September 30th. Updates should reflect revised project descriptions, changes in project categories, and adjustments to budget categories. Reports should include an updated program of projects for each approved grant that contains active projects. Recipients should contact their FTA regional office with questions on reporting requirements. This slide includes additional reporting requirements that are specific to the Section 5310 program. In regards to the National Transit Database, or NTD reporting, all FTA recipients, including recipients under the Section 5310 program, are required to report an asset inventory or condition assessment conducted by the recipient to the NTD. In regards to drug and alcohol testing, recipients or subrecipients that receive only Section 5310 program assistance are not subject to FTA's drug and alcohol testing rules, but must comply with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration rule for all employees who hold commercial driver's licenses. Section 5310 recipients and subrecipients that also receive funding under one of the covered FTA programs, Sections 5307, 5309, or 5311, should include any employees funded under Section 5310 projects in their testing program. An FTA-compliant testing program may be used for Section 5310 employees. There is no need to have a separate testing program. Employees of a subrecipient of Section 5310 funds from a state or a designated recipient of another FTA program should also be included in the designated recipient's testing program. The following section will be over state and program management plans. State management plans, or the SMP, describes the state's policies and procedures for administering FTA's Section 5310 program in small urban and rural areas, while the Program Management Plan, also known as the PMP, describes the designated recipient's policies and procedures for administering FTA's Section 5310 program in a large urbanized area. The requirements for the PMP and SMP are the same. Each recipient is required to have an approved SMP or PMP on file with the appropriate FTA regional office, and to update it regularly to incorporate any changes in program management or new requirements. A state may include the required SMP for the Section 5310, 5311, and 5339A programs in a single document or separate documents. Designated recipients may choose to have one single management plan as long as subrecipients can identify which policies and procedures are relevant to them. At a minimum, SMPs or PMPs must include the recipient's program objectives, policies, procedures, and administrative requirements in a form readily accessible to potential subrecipient, FTA, and the public. SMPs or PMPs serve as the basis for FTA to perform recipient-level management reviews of the program and provide public information on the recipient's administration of the Section 5310 program. SMPs or PMPs should address coordination, eligible subrecipients, local share and local funding requirements, project selection criteria and method of distributing funds, annual program of projects development and approval process, as well as the Section 5310 program measures. The complete list of required topics can be found in Chapter 7, Section 4. FTA strongly encourages the state or designated recipient to issue timely revisions to the SMP or PMP, particularly when information helpful to disadvantaged communities, subrecipients, and third-party contractors is involved. When the state or designated recipient proposes significant revisions to the SMP or PMP, it should give an opportunity to comment to potential subrecipients, potential service providers, other state agencies, and representatives of other funding sources, and any relevant state associations and professional organizations. If revisions are substantive but not pervasive, the state or designated recipients may submit page changes that FTA can approve and incorporate into the SMP or PMP on file. If the state or designated recipient changes the SMP or PMP significantly, however, it should submit the entire revised plan to FTA for approval. The state or designated recipient is responsible for ensuring that FTA has a complete electronic copy of the current SMP or PMP. The final section is on the appendices. FTA removed many of the appendices found in Circular 9071G, as the information is available in other circulars and resources and can be easily referenced. Appendix B, Sample Section 5310 Program of Projects, is now the new Appendix A, while Appendix D, Relationship between Coordinated Planning and Metropolitan and Statewide Planning Table, is now the new Appendix B. This concludes this presentation. Back to Heather.
So this concludes our formal presentation of Session 2 of 2 sessions for our Circular 9071H training series. This is our last series of videos that will be posted to FTA's website through mid-November 2024. The email address goes right to our office, and we will follow up to address those questions and concerns. Also included are links to the finalized circulars. In the meantime, if you have questions, you can reference these links here or contact us at FTA Circular Update 2024 at dot.gov. Part of our ongoing efforts and commitment to serving the public, FTA is committed to improving America's communities through improving public transportation. We share a vision of fostering a better quality life for all, built on public transportation, excellence through commitment to service, integrity, innovation, sustainability, and equity. Thank you again for watching. We hope you will view other videos related to the 2024 circulars.